Thanks for staying with us. This is Firecrackers. Let's get into the business of the day. We begin with health matters, as the COVID-19 pandemic is very much around with us, especially the very latest Delta variant, which is causing a lot of trouble for nations around the world. We understand that some nations have opted for a booster shot, the likes of Israel, and even in the US, there are calls for a booster shot. We get some perspective from the United Kingdom, where Dr. Leo Ogba is standing by from Lincoln, a general practitioner, member, prestigious Royal College of GP in the UK. Dr. Leo, thank you so much for agreeing to speak with us on Firecrackers tonight. So much to talk about as regards the COVID-19 pandemic, the Delta variant, which is very much in the news, and the fact that nations around the world are already beginning to think of a third jab. But then again, in Africa, it's much of a very big deal, because we're yet to even convince Africans to even take the first jab, and even the second, how much more the third. We also have issues of vaccines hesitancy in most parts of nations in Africa. So we'll get some perspective tonight from Dr. Leo. Dr. Leo, thank you so much for agreeing to speak with us. Let's begin the conversation with you, Dr. Leo, in the UK. So the decision by the Prime Minister Boris Johnson, by the way, great decision, you think, especially now that even scientists and even many countries around are a bit concerned about this decision to lift nearly all restrictions beginning tomorrow, Monday. Dr. Leo Ogba, yes, the question is for you, please.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead with your thoughts, please.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay.
Sorry, I didn't get the question that you asked. I think the line was...
I may have to go over that question again, Dr. Leo. The question is, the Prime Minister in the UK is insisting on going ahead to lift nearly all the restrictions in just a few hours away, I mean, beginning from Monday. Scientists are a bit worried and concerned about this, and even countries around the world are also a bit concerned about the possible consequences to nations around the world. Just how concerned are you?
All right. Thank you, Kelly, for the question. I think all over the nation, the populace, they are very happy to hear that at the end of the day that we are going to have lights at the end of the tunnel. People are happy that Boris Johnson is going to announce the lifting of a number of restrictions starting from tomorrow. However, for those of us in the front line, I mean those of us in the medical line, we have a bit of skepticism when it comes to the lifting of this ban, and the reason is not far-fetched. I mean, the numbers are there. The numbers are saying something different, because right now we're beginning to see increase in the number of infection. Cases are rising, the infection rate is on the increase, we're beginning to see more hospitalizations, we're beginning to see more deaths also from COVID-related illnesses. So in the medical world, while people are happy in the medical world, we feel it's probably something that should have been postponed, until we maybe bring the numbers down again before we think of relaxing the rules and regulations. And for me, what I would advise people is, while we enjoy this lifting of restrictions, enjoy our new freedom, we should apply caution. We should apply caution, really.
All right, Dr. Leo, I would like you also to weigh in on the decision for a third jab, which is generating a lot of reactions and controversy in many nations around the world, of course. What side of the divide do you belong? Do you think that we definitely need to go for that third jab?
Well, when you say the third jab, which is also the booster dose, I think it's just that here in the Western world, we're trying to be more proactive. We're looking at the upcoming, the next winter, which is just around the corner, and we want to make sure that people have further protection from COVID virus. You know that no vaccination is 100% protective. So we think that by giving people the third jab, they are going to have a further protection from the COVID virus and its the illness that it brings. So for me, I think I'm on the side that welcomes the third vaccination.
And then the fact is also that while nations, developed nations like the US and Israel, all of that, moving on, striving towards the third jab. Back here in Africa, the statistics are really very poor. I mean, a lot of Africans are yet to even get the first jab, and it does appear that the rich nations are even hoarding vaccines, so to say. Just how can Africa begin to redeem itself from these myriads of challenges?
Okay, yeah, I think first of all, it comes with having the political will to do this thing. The governments of the different nations of Africa, I think they should rise up to the challenge. And one of that challenge, obviously, is to protect the lives of their citizens. I think the government of Nigeria, in particular, should map out a roadmap, you know, in terms of rolling out of vaccine. And when that happens, also encourage the people to embrace this vaccine. By what? By teaching the people, by educating the people, doing some sort of mass mobilization, reorientation of our people. Our people need to see this COVID-19 as not just a charade. They need to know that it is something that has come to stay, and it is a pandemic. The fact that it is more prevalent in the Western world does not mean that it doesn't occur in Africa and in Nigeria in particular. And looking at the fact that we have a large population in Nigeria, a teeming population of young people in Nigeria, I think Nigeria even should benefit from the jab. And I think it starts with the government taking its proper position, you know, with the political will to get this jab into the arms of people in Nigeria.
Dr. Leo, thank you so much for speaking with us. We wish you the very best. We appreciate your services in the UK. I mean, according to reports, only on Friday, the UK recorded about 55,000 deaths. We're wondering how it's going to play out with lifting restrictions at this point in time, but we wish you all the very best. Thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Thank you for having me.